Hello and welcome to Computer Science Essentials, or Intro to Computer Science, in the brand new format. Who knew that when you left for spring break, this is the way that you would see me again? So let's talk about some things. So you basically have two things that people are going to be focusing on in the class. The first thing is I want to improve my grade. So there's those individuals. And then the second one is I want to have additional assignments or enhancement assignments, in order to keep up with your learning and things along those lines. Because as you go from computer science essentials to computer science principles, the expectation will be that you know this stuff, right? So you kind of keep up on things. So what it is, I assigned it before spring break. It was for after we got back from spring break, and it's still kind of in the same play. I want you to create a computer, and I'm going to, you should see, by the time you see this video, you should see a breakdown of the way I'm going to have things turned in is you're going to have artifacts that represents all the different sections of the actual program, as well as a link to a video that you create. Kind of tough to point, right? That you create in Screencast-O-Matic. That's probably the easiest one. It's free. That's the one I'm using now. That you show me and walk me through the different elements. I'm going to go ahead and talk through the database project and what you're working on. And once again, if you want it to count towards your actual grade, you need to let me know if it's, well, I'll take a look at it regardless. Or if you're in an enhancement mode that you're just trying to learn some things. So for the database project, from the picture, which I will break down into able to be handed in sections, lists, functions or procedures, right? There we go. Variable names, search, sort, edit, delete, save. Those are all 100% database functions. If you have a database that doesn't search, sort, edit, delete, or save, it's not really a database. Loops, if then, switch, save and load from file, methods or objects, okay? Think the student registry. And then you have 10 samples with at least 3 elements already programmed in, right? So when I load it up, it should be able to automatically load 10 sample pieces of data. And then I should be able to manipulate those 10 pieces of data. I should be able to save to a file. So if I want to add an 11th or edit or delete some of those 10 samples, I should be able to do that. And all of those things you should have done, with the exception of the search, sort, and save to a file. No, you should have been able to save to a file too from the first project. So there shouldn't be a lot of new things going on here. You should have been able to do a lot of your research and a lot of the way to go about doing things in the first project that we did before spring break. Now remember, Sir Google is your friend, right? Stack Overflow is your friend, and there's a kind of the way to troubleshoot those things, because a way for me to long distance troubleshoot is kind of rough on occasions, right? So be sure to reach out to your peers, be sure to use your online resources, and I will have a due date on this. I expect the due date of this towards the end of, I'd expect the first week of May or things along those lines. That will give me time to process it. That will give me time to put it together. That'll give me time to know what's going on. So regardless, remember, you're breaking this down into two things. The database project will either 1, enhance your grade, or 2, 1, improve your grade, or 2, be how do they put it? A enhanced learning experience. There you go. So either way, just keep an eye on that. And if you have questions, I've put my contact email in the announcements, and also my office hours will be up quite soon. Thank you very much for your time, and I hope to see your program.